Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Raphael, and I'm here at Strength Dojo in Providence, Rhode Island. And I'm here to be the moderator of a great debate between two men deciding the age-old question of David versus Goliath. Here, at one side, we have John Larkin deciding that a much smaller man is able to easily beat a much larger man.
Hold on a second. Are you trying to tell me that there's any debate about a much smaller man defeating a much bigger man?
Well, I'm just a moderator, but I think that it is worth for debate up today. That brings some
Now
good
hold on a second. It ain't so easy for a little man to beat a much bigger man. I got 3 points. Why this is impossible. Why this could never happen. Point number 1. The size discrepancy. Take a look at my pumpkins. Look at this. Here we have the little Ryan Hall. And here we have a Mr. Larry Wheels. Do you see the difference?
I can very much see the difference,
Look at it.
even though it says Little Pumpkin.
Point number 2. Mr. Larry Wheels is on an extra scoop of protein. He's got a little bit of supplementation to aid in his journey to gain a maximum amount of world-class strength. Are you here to tell me that your magical powers are just gonna win with your wizardry?
I am not sure.
And point number 3. There's a reason throughout history that people have created such big weaponry, such as claymores, swords, scimitars, katanas, armors, maces. On balance, off balance, it doesn't matter. You're never gonna win against the bigger guy.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is John Amore's take on a larger man being able to easily beat a much smaller man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with John Larkin here to take his side on whether Ryan Hall was able to beat a much larger opponent. John?
Yeah, so the opponent specifically I think we're referring to is Larry Wheels. There's no debate. Ryan Hall would definitely beat Larry Wheels in any context, be it sport, jiu-jitsu, gi or no gi, mixed martial arts, street fight, bar fight. I mean, he could have an aneurysm and beat him. He could get into a car accident and beat him. I don't see any context in which he would ever lose in any conditions except be it that he was dead, and then it would probably be a draw.
Okay. Whether or not a much smaller opponent will be able to beat a much larger opponent, we'll find out in this debate. We'll see you soon.
Welcome to the Smoking Simeon podcast.
Oh, nope,
shit,
wrong one.
Shit,
Wrong.
What the fuck?
No.
Oh my god. Wait, you're not supposed to have swearing, right? Is that not funny?
It's a family.
That's good. You guys can continue on. That's fine.
Folks, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm hilarious.
Yep. So
He goes, yep, you're the only one.
Yep. So what are we talking about today, John?
We're going to be discussing how Ryan Hall and any professional MMA fighter, not any professional MMA fighter, any UFC fighter would beat Larry Wheels in a fight, whether they be a 105-pound female or a heavyweight.
Got it. So today, let's lay out the facts first. So we got Ryan Hall has competed at 145. Is this correct? 145.
He competes at 145.
145. Master of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Incredibly good at heel hooks. Beat BJ Penn with a heel hook.
He's got a good back take game. He's got a great Mata Leon, rear naked choke.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then does he have any background in strength training or sports performance? Other than that, do we know?
I think he's done some of it, being that he competed at a world-class no-gi level, a world-class gi level, and now in the UFC. But no, he's not like a particularly strong guy.
Got it.
For sure.
Okay. Any other facts? Incredibly good striker, right?
Oh, no.
No?
Trash striker. Yeah.
Terrible striker. Okay. Well, and then we have Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels
Is built like a wheel.
He's 6'2", I believe, 6'1".
I think he's 6'1" or 6'2", and he's...
200.
no. Is he even 6 feet?
I believe he is.
Jamie!
We can
Jamie.
fact check this. He's over 6 feet tall, I believe, and 245 plus pounds.
I thought it was like 270.
I thought he was at his biggest. I thought he was around 270, 280 pounds. Mr. Larry.
He's
Lawrence Wheels.
6'1" and between 245 and 255. That's just like a preliminary search.
Got it. Larry
I
Wheels
thought he was way bigger than that.
has a little bit of extra supplementation, I believe. He is a little bit larger than a man that is not taking an extra scoop of protein. And some of the best lifts that I've seen Larry do on the internet, I've never seen him in person, are a 937 deadlift. I believe he's incline pressed.
No, he doesn't deadlift that much.
Can we check?
I'd put him like in the mid 8s.
He hit 800 for reps.
Really?
Yep. And he incline pressed 405 for, I believe, 10. I've watched him strict press, if I'm not mistaken, 435
900
pounds.
pounds, no straps.
I believe he tore his bicep around 230 pounds of a strict curl. And I watched him dumbbell bench press. Ryan Hall's weight.
Yep, you're right, 937.
937. Ryan Hall in each hand. He has dumbbell bench pressed Ryan Hall in each hand for, I believe 26 reps. Quite incredible. I personally can't imagine trying to fight either one of these guys. I would never want to.
You could beat 10 of them.
I would never.
Not Hall.
Not Ryan Hall.
I could beat 10 Larry Wheels in a row. Not
Yeah.
at once. Maybe 2 at once.
I think I could run away from him very quickly. I think he would never catch me. I don't think that he has great sprint capability. I could be wrong about that too. But basically we're saying, in what arena are these two competitors colliding? Is this a gladiator arena? Are we going to take it from there first? There's no holds barred. They just go at each other 100% in an open arena. How does it play out?
Yeah, I mean, as I said in the promo, I think, Hall would absolutely, undoubtedly win in gi jiu-jitsu, no gi jiu-jitsu competition. And I strongly feel he would win in MMA. And I think with the right strategy, he very likely wins in a street fight.
Okay, so let's take it from the street fight first. We'll say they both enter the...
Man, this equipment's great.
It's amazing.
I sound awesome.
They both enter the gladiator arena. Sand on the ground, the sun blazing down on both of them.
Tigers chained up, right?
Tigers, they have like a kilt type thing made of like a loincloth leather.
Well, Larry would look better in that than...
I think so, just by a little bit.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
How does it go down? They're within 10 feet of each other. Ryan Hall immediately goes for the takedown, inverts, grabs the heel hook, snaps.
So they're trying to kill the shit out of each other?
Yeah, they're trying to kill each other.
So Ryan Hall does the Gracie ugly side kick to the knee and hip to slow him down, because you don't want Larry bull rushing you. The problem with that is he's so big and strong that to break fall from him smashing you could hurt. And Larry's played football, so he's a decent athlete as well.
Right.
You really want to slow that momentum, but the Gracies were really good at that. They do that weird low stance forward side kick to the knee, which I think is a good self-defense technique. You as a Kempo practitioner, you believe in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have to attack him at a weak point.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
It's got to be the throat. It's got to be the knee. It's got to be the eyes. I really wouldn't want to take my chances attacking Larry's eyes. Eyes are small in a high adrenaline situation. You're dealing with gross motor skills, not fine motor skills. I don't like attacking his eyes until you get to the floor. So that leaves the throat.
So you're taking out the legs from out underneath him with a kick?
Yeah, I mean, he might not necessarily fall down, but
Yep.
you need to slow his momentum.
Certainly.
I don't want to attack his throat either, because if he ducks his chin at all, that's not accessible.
Right.
You got to go for the knee. Anybody who is rushing forward is susceptible during their stride to a knee strike. So I think unless Larry comes in super tentative, gets in a low stance, tries to grab him,
Right.
he's either going to be swinging or he's going to try to do some semblance of a football tackle or something
Right.
like that. The harder Larry comes in, the more likely he is to get injured. Hyperextend his knee.
Undoubtedly.
Because it doesn't take a lot of force during a period of extension to hyperextend the knee.
Yep. And so then they're on the ground, then some form
Maybe
of...
they're on the ground. Maybe he just stops him in his tracks, and then from there he does some semblance of an Amore roll, or dives for an ankle, something like that.
Got it. So you're saying it would be over within 60 seconds? A little longer? Play tag a little bit?
Is Larry definitely coming forward?
We'll
We
say
have to
for...
establish that.
Yeah, so for purposes of simplicity, we'll start with that. Sure.
So he's rushing in.
He's just rushing in.
So
Yeah.
if he doesn't rush in, it's different. You
Right.
have to think tactically. But I think attacking the knee is essential because Larry is essentially, he's a tank.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to strike him. I wouldn't deliver a body shot or a leg kick
Same.
on Larry Wheels.
Glad
You
we
know
got
what
to
I mean?
that point. Yep.
Yeah.
You're not going to hurt him too much with
I
that.
would not attack anything traditional. Everything is going to be self-defense, combatives based here. Again, eyes, throat, base of the skull. I'm looking for places that you can't put muscle on.
Right.
And even his tendons, I really don't even want to attack his tendons. I'm not going to do like a crank on Larry Wheels. I'm not going to do a muscle slicer.
Right.
I think he can be armbarred, but I really don't even want to play that game.
Right. I think
it
he would
just-
curl me up if I tried to armbar him personally. I don't think I could ever get into a good position on him.
You would snap his arm. But we're talking about Hall here, who is a weak, small. I'm not going to say unathletic man, because he's probably
He's
a solid
skilled.
athlete.
He's skilled in what he does.
No, but I bet he can run, jump, catch a ball, do athletic endeavors. But he's so pitifully weak in comparison. And even any 145-pound Olympic weightlifter or powerlifter is twice, 3 times stronger than Hall is.
Right.
So he's not going to do that. But he is a master of back takes, the Mata Leon. He is a leg locker guru.
The back take. I'm not sure that Larry's neck is small enough to be able to take his back. Can you talk about that a little bit?
You could do that to anybody. It's called the Mata Leon, which for anybody listening is the lion killer. It's designed to kill lions. Not literally, but the idea being that this is the attack that mitigates the difference between a very small and very large person. Jimmy always says, if you could pick one submission to teach a female to use on a 300-pound guy, it's the Mata Leon.
Okay.
Because he thinks that even a very tiny person can climb atop someone's back. Again, size gives you an advantage. Strength gives you an even bigger advantage. But if you can climb on someone's back, even if you have to be in a sort of disadvantageous position, you're not in the elbow, you can still go gable grip and put someone to sleep.
So if Larry were to react to that and grab your grip as you do that,
it's going to be so difficult. Even someone incredibly small and much weaker, like I'm thinking about training partners here, like Kat. I don't know if you've met Kat. She's a purple belt, trains with Jimmy. And Shayna, you know Shayna. Shayna could definitely choke me. If she sank in the choke,
certainly.
I could not beat it.
But you're not 245 on steroids.
Right, but Shayna's 115. And I was a serious power lifter. I Olympic weightlifted. I did strongman pretty seriously. Like this, not just the size difference between me and Shayna, but the skill difference in strength. I'm not saying she's not fit. So if she ever watches this, she's very fit, but she's not very strong.
Yep.
She's strong compared to average people, but she's not a strength athlete.
Right.
I was a strength athlete.
Right.
So it's a different comparison, but like whereas Ryan Hall probably walks around at my size, and Larry Wheels is equivalently stronger and bigger probably than I am to Shayna.
How long would it take someone at Ryan Hall's size to be able to tap him or just render him unconscious?
Larry?
Yeah.
Same as anybody else.
Right. How long would that be?
Unconscious? 5 to 10 seconds.
So as long as Ryan could get into position, climb aboard the Larry train,
Yes.
and hang on enough to sink into position, get both sides of the carotid arteries covered, windpipe covered, sink it in, good to go, done.
Yeah, but my idea here, and this is not untenable considering the individual we're talking about. If I'm Ryan Hall, I attack the knee, and keep in mind too, like he does that Gracie sidekick. If Larry's still coming at him, back up, move around, look for your opportunity. Again, Larry Wheels is completely untrained, so I'm looking to mitigate
Except for
distance.
football.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to matter. Then you cut an angle, he comes in straight. You kick him on the side of the knee. Maybe now, he breaks his knee that way. There's like a lot of ways for it to go bad for Larry. And let's say Larry does tackle him, it could still hurt, but now he's in Ryan's world. Like it just. I don't see a lot of ways that it goes well. If Larry was like trained somehow, like he was a good striker and he wanted to keep it up, I'd say hands down Larry wins.
I think
then
we agree completely on that once one attains the skill with any amount of strength and athleticism, you close the gap very quickly on what would happen to the opponent that is just skilled and untrained in strength. So, for example, if John took Ryan Hall, trained him up in strength, and I took Larry Wheels and trained him up in jiu-jitsu, and I just...
Hands down, Larry Wheels wins.
Right.
Within 6 months.
I think also within 6 months, yes. Now, totally understand that Larry does not know how to strike, does not know how to play ground combat. I've never seen him do any form of wrestling whatsoever other than arm wrestling. He did win to a much smaller opponent in arm wrestling. It was very interesting to watch. It is on the internet. I think that any amount of getting hit by Larry on accident, let alone on purpose, would feel absolutely terrible.
To some degree.
He's a large man, and he's very strong.
He's slow.
Absolutely slow.
He's cumbersome.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that from the perspective of athletics, because he is...
It's like fighting Goro.
Yeah, right. So he's a good athlete, but I mean, anybody who is bad at striking, like you can be a trained striker for a year or two and still be a bad striker and still be kind of slow. Like if I put me or Raf, are your viewers allowed to know you're sitting right there? Okay. Put Raf in against a 2-year Thai boxer or boxer. And I'm going to be honest, like, even if Raf's dressed the way he is right now and he walks in off the street, no warm-up, he's going to piece that guy up because he's just going to see the shots coming. He's going to cut better angles. He has a wealth of knowledge from competition and from training that the other person can't understand. So I think Ryan Hall is a bad striker, but I bet he's done, many hundreds of hours of striking just to be as bad as he is. So how does Larry hit him? I
don't think Larry would hit him on purpose. I think as soon as Ryan Hall were to close the gap and attempt any amount of manipulation to Larry's body, that Larry would flail like an animal. I would guess
to his detriment.
Sure. Also, I think to Ryan Hall's detriment is the thing. I think that the imagine grabbing, I'm sure everyone's tried to wash a cat or a dog that's just like trying to squirm out of your hands. I feel like that's what Ryan Hall would feel like to Larry Wheels. It would be bad for both of them. I don't think Larry would win the fight. I think that both of them would lose tremendously.
I mean, that could be accurate. The only thing that I'm considering is Ryan Hall's one of his best moves that he used against BJ Penn, the heel hook, is a technique that, in my opinion, a very small person could do to a very large person due to axial rotation.
Yeah.
So rotation of the knee joint where it meets the, what's that called, the tibiofemoral joint, where the tibia meets the knee and is held together by, the MCL,
PCL,
ACL.
Yep.
LCL, MCL, PCL, ACL. Yeah. So it takes, the knee can move in two planes. It can flex, extend, and then it can rotate slightly. I think it's 10 degrees internal rotation, 23 degrees external rotation, something like that.
Sounds right.
Not a lot of play. He gets an ashi position, a 50-50 position, even off his back. All he needs to do is get that heel off the floor at all, to any degree. And I don't think that Larry has the strength. And here's the thing. I don't think anyone has the strength
to resist the rotation.
To resist
if
the
he can get it
force
on.
of a heel hook.
I think.
And then that doesn't stop the fight, though. I mean, Larry is still a dangerous guy with his knee broken.
He's turned into a zombie.
But he can't stand up now.
Yep.
And now you have the option of breaking the other leg if you need to,
Sure.
and then climbing on the back and then
I
finishing.
think if that were to happen, I think it's all downhill from there. I agree. You immobilize.
So you don't think he can get the heel hook?
Correct. That's my initial thought is how difficult it's going to be to get Larry into that position without catching an accidental swipe of the Goliath hand or elbow or form or anything.
He's so inefficient. Like he's not swinging like he's not swinging like Francis Ngannou's swinging.
Definitely.
He's swinging like a big bodybuilder.
I'm not even imagining that he's swinging. I'm imagining that Larry might be a little bit timid versus the professional fighter and say,
then I'll keep kicking his knee, moving around, kicking his knee, moving around. And you agree that Ryan Hall probably has way better cardio, oxidative at least?
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
So
I mean,
Larry's
just being a guy that size alone already puts you at a disadvantage, and then I don't think Larry trains much in the way of cardiovascular capacity.
Yeah, he trains the 5 times a week he was talking about, but it's not anything super serious. It's enough that
it's definitely not any amount of skill development either in the sport that he would be playing in.
And think about being a day one white belt. I mean, everyone's been there. Any white belt you roll with uses way too much energy. They get super tired.
I would never roll with a white belt that's 100 pounds bigger than me.
Never. I wouldn't either. But if someone said, hey, there's something on the line, you must beat this white belt, then I'm definitely going to win.
The only way that I would fight these men is if I had a knife or a katana or something.
I mean, I would be more likely to fight Larry Wheels than to fight Hall. Because I know I'm going to lose to Hall. I don't know what his level of wrestling is.
Right.
But I imagine if it's even comparable to mine, I'm in a lot of trouble. Because I know I'm not going to beat him on the ground.
Right.
Could I keep it on the feet? I would have to review his fights again and really see how his takedown game is. I know I could strike better than him. He's terrible at striking. But
Ryan Hall, if you hear that.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love it. I mean, it wouldn't behoove Ryan Hall to train with me, though.
So I think as the first round of this discussion, this debate, I'd like to hear what everybody else really has to think because it doesn't really matter what I think. I have no stake in it whatsoever.
Yeah, same.
Just raise the point. It's an interesting thing to think about. It's fun. What would happen? What do you guys think would happen? Does skill, exponential skill, beat strength in this scenario? Or does the weight difference, the size and strength difference, all compounding together, overcome the other person no matter what? Is that person stoppable? It's been great.